Good morning, everyone. I just woke up in the beautiful California Sequoia National Forest. I didn't mean to sleep here last night. It was kind of an accident. But things have been kind of changing in my life lately. I've been on a 3-week road trip. Some of you know that because you're my friends on Facebook, so you've seen my posts. But this road trip didn't really have a road map. It was more of a, I think I'd like to see this. I think I'd like to see that. I don't know when I'll get there. Hopefully I'll get there. Some places worked out, some places didn't. Every day I'm kind of like, what do I want to do today? And it's actually been really fun to see how things have turned out. On the road, I have been listening to a lot of Esther Abraham Hicks videos. She's someone who I felt very, given my own spiritual beliefs, I'm a Christian, I believe in the Bible, I felt very timid about approaching her at first or listening to her because I didn't know who was actually influencing her, if it's actually God or if it's a demon or where she's coming from. So I always listen to her stuff with caution and with a perspective of trying to judge how much is actually truth. But lately the things she's been saying have kind of gotten into my head and been shifting some things inside of me in a good way. Like, for instance, last night when I ended up in this forest, I felt like I was supposed to come here when I came here instead of stopping ahead of time. I almost stopped for dinner before entering the forest, but I felt like God said, no, go into the forest. You can have dinner afterward. So I'm like, okay. But then I got stuck here because it got really dark and I couldn't see anything. And I was really disappointed that I'd paid money to come into this forest and not see anything. So I'm driving around, not sure what I'm supposed to do. And then I came across a campground and I wasn't sure if I was going to spend the night. But I drove through the campground. Everything was full or reserved anyway. So I'm like, well, I can't. And then right before I was going to leave, I found a spot right near the entrance, which is where I needed to register. So I was like, that's weird. Okay, I'll stay. And the thing is, right before all of that occurred, because of the videos I was listening to, I was thinking, all right, normally I get angry and upset and start being like, God, why did you tell me to do that? But instead I said, okay, there's probably purpose in this, and I don't know what the purpose is, but there's a reason I got stuck in the forest at night, that I paid all that money and I can't see the forest right now. There's a reason this happened, and I don't know what that reason is, but there's a reason. So I tried to, you'll hear if you listen to any of those videos, she talks about aligning with the vortex, which is aligning with your highest good, which is, it's highest good that come from your dreams and desires, but also what God wants for you. So I was trying to align with the vortex with that decision to say, for some reason there is purpose here, and I don't know why all this happened. And then I found the camp spot. So it's been a blessing, and so far I haven't figured out how to even pay for it. So it might be a free camp spot. Anyway, that's not the real reason I wanted to share this video, but that's something to consider, is that as we shift our mindset, good things start happening. So I need to work on it more because I have a tendency to definitely let myself get unhinged when things don't go my way, and that's something I need to work on. Anyway, what I did want to tell you was this morning when I woke up, I prayed to God and I said, please help me to get in alignment with the vortex and help me to stay there. And right after I prayed that, I had this like mountaintop experience in my head where I could see, and this has never happened to me ever, the culmination of the decisions I've made over the last 40 years have all been made from a state of perpetual reaction to my life, a state of reaction to the wounds that exist from the abuse. They've been made from a state of confusion and chaos and just trying to survive the next day. They haven't been made from my heart, mostly. Some of them have, but most of them haven't. They haven't really been made with clear vision in my head, like this is what I want my life to be about. This is where I want to head. And so I'm looking at all these decisions I've made, like where I live and how much rent I'm paying and why I'm paying rent instead of owning a house and what kind of job I'm doing, those kind of things. I'm looking at all these decisions that have made up my life for the moment and realizing that they were just made reactionary from a place that was reactionary. Like even me, I live in a house right now. I live in a house because my ex, the narcissist, wanted to buy a house. So I'm like, well, I'm going to show him I can have a house too. Like some of the decisions were that dumb, but they made sense at the time. You know what I mean? They made sense at the time to help me survive, to help me get through. But in hindsight, I'm like, I'm not judging myself. Like, honestly, I don't feel bad about any of these decisions because I see that I was doing the best I knew how to do. And I see that at the time they were actually pretty good decisions. You know, I did survive. I did get through. I have succeeded more so than I even thought I would. But looking at it from a removed perspective where I'm no longer just reacting, where I'm no longer just afraid, where I'm no longer just trying to survive, I'm going, okay, where do I want my life to head? What really matters to me? Life is short. Time is short. We only have so much time here to figure out what really matters to us and how to steer our ship in that direction. And I've never, ever, 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 ever thought about my life like that before. So I'm really excited that I still don't have the answer. I still don't even know what matters to me or what I want my life to be about or what direction I want to head. But for me to even ask those questions and be able to look at the current course that has been charted and question it and be like, is this really what matters to me? Is this really what I want to be spending my time on? I already know the answer to that is no. I already know the direction I'm heading isn't the direction I want to be heading. I'm just not sure where I want to head, but the fact that I'm even able to step back and ask myself that is monumental. So if you guys haven't listened to any of those videos, I encourage you to do so. It will start to change some things in you if you're willing to receive the information. It's kind of the way she delivers it. The reason why it's called Esther Abraham Hicks is she feels like she's channeling, and maybe she is, channeling Abraham, who was in the Bible, and that this information's coming from Abraham. So that's why you'll hear her talk about herself in third person. Sounds weird, right? That's why I was like, I don't know about this lady. But if you are able to receive that information to whatever degree feels truthful to you, to whatever degree feels right and in alignment with your own beliefs, it will help you start to shift. Just even in situations like as bad things have come up on my road trip, I've started, instead of immediately getting upset, I've started stepping back and being like, how can I choose a higher vibration? I've started becoming more aware of my thoughts. So there are so many good things in it if you are willing to listen. Anyway, good morning, everybody. I got to hit the road and go see really big trees. I'll talk to you later. Bye.